Welcome, heroes, to Total Party Gossip, an after-adventure gab session about the exploits of our last arc. This time, we're going over the mishaps of the Wyverns and the Wake. So Jewel, Singer, and Stenel, tell me what you thought.
Well,
that started off better than it ended.
It had a very creepy ending to it because it's like, well, what happened?
I thought it went well because we succeeded on our mission.
Succeeded in quotation marks.
Hey, all right.
Big
We got paid to
quotation
kill
marks.
wyverns. We killed like so many wyverns, you guys. Like all the wyverns are dead,
I feel
including
like
the one I
feel
kind of
like
wanted to save.
you keep saying Singer is chaotic neutral. He is lawful neutral. He followed the guild exactly, and he didn't give a shit about anything beyond
That's
that. He was like, "Here's the law."
Very good point.
Yeah, well, it's when you
This
put
is the
something on the
rules.
character sheet and then you start playing the character, things
Yeah.
advance and change and shit like that.
I noticed that editing too, because particularly you, when you're thinking about like the job you took, you always go, wait, does this actually fall within the confines, or am I just doing this for no reason? Because I don't think I want to do this for no reason.
Yeah. I know it's one of those things. Like I had an envision in my head when I wrote down the character sheet, but then when you start playing, you're like, well, I think, well, I'll do this, and I kind of, when we kicked it off on that previous mission, I was like, no, I think I got paid to do a job, and that's what I'm going to do. So, yep.
Yeah. So starting out, you guys are heading down the road toward the Abbey, and you saw that initial wyvern come down and fry that flock of sheep.
Oh yeah, I totally, when you were describing that, was thinking something completely fucking different, and so I thought it was like this like giant gas wave that rolled out, and everyone was like, "No, it's a line." I'm like, "No, it's definitely a gas wave." It's like this.
Well, it's
Like
because
literally a laser.
Yeah,
because he said
Yeah,
miasma,
totally.
which made you think, bleh.
Yeah.
But he also said line, which was what stuck in our
I didn't
heads.
hear that.
It's a
obviously.
line of
Yeah, yeah.
miasma. So it was like, yeah, laser beams, neon lasers.
Yeah. And then the guy that owned the horse in the cart was chickening out, and Jewel definitely took a note of that and it reported it back to Milo after they got back to West Bank.
He's not an adventurer. He's not paid
Then
to
he
be
should
an adventurer.
not volunteer as a
Do you think
contractor
he volunteered if someone showed up and like, hey, you want to drive these guys to a different town for like 100?
for the Adventurers Guild?
Yeah, for like a whole shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Did you not see our professional looking pins?
If you're hired to go and do something, you're not necessarily like going to get in the shit of things.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
you could. It's like people in World War II that were translators. I'm a translator, like Saving Private Ryan, where they have the was it Henry Thomas that was the translator? Is that the guy?
I nod my head.
But okay, but he was like the
I love that movie.
translator,
I don't
and
remember.
he's like in the office in quotations because it's like all in the mud. But he's doing his typewriter stuff, and then they're like, "Well, we need somebody who speaks French, so you're coming on this super, super dangerous mission." But I'm just a translator. Well,
I mean, I
Here you
agree
go.
with all of that, but that being said, it's not the military. It's
Right.
it's a private contractor that was paid to drop us off.
for the guild, I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna contract for the guild, you better be able to contract for
All right, well,
You're
the
gonna
guild.
go back. You're gonna blacklist that guy. He's never gonna find work.
Hang
He's
on.
starving right now with his
I'm a
poor
diva.
kids.
Jewel is a diva. She is like, you need to live up to my
no, no, no,
expectations
no.
of what needs to happen.
Some people don't know how they're going to respond until they actually see a wyvern like melt 6
Melt
sheep in one
something.
pass.
Not my problem.
We
It's his
responded
problem.
by running into that.
Yeah,
And
and
now
that's what
he
we do.
should
People
know
wet
that he
themselves.
shouldn't be helping the guild because he can't handle himself.
No, he's going to go take up
He's
knitting.
a piss boy.
I just liked okay, here are the reins. Please
Yes.
return them. And he just slides off.
Just like gets
like,
out. Yeah.
no, I'm not going to do
This
this.
is obviously the most important part
Of the whole
of the
mission.
entire adventure.
And not the
beginning
end
right
when
there.
Vanessa's throwing a
Okay.
tantrum
But we did eventually make it
into town.
to the Abbey,
Mhm.
which had a very specific set of buildings,
Mhm.
right? There was an auction house, a church,
I have the
a
map.
couple residencies. Well, what's the other? A blacksmith?
It was a house, a barn, a church, an auction house, a smithy, a bar called the Black Sheep, and 2 more houses.
The good old black sheep.
And there's a house out on the edge of town where Old Man Don lived.
And you had Singer had an admirer
Yes.
in that turkey shaped man.
Yeah.
It was after the church.
Oh, my bad.
Right,
Okay.
so we got
went
to the
church
church.
first,
Went to
Yeah.
the church first.
right? where we were very comforting and peaceful.
We totally made friends and fans.
Like everyone like knew the guild was there. We were going to save their asses.
That's how it went.
That's exactly how it went.
It wasn't just strangers walking up to an old lady that's crying because her husband got melted.
Well, I forget. Was I trying to high five her? What was Stendhal doing?
No, you're just trying to comfort her.
Yeah, you were trying to comfort her. It was really sweet if misguided.
Oh yeah.
But you're a halfling barbarian and a badger pelt. Also a stranger. Also soaking wet.
I feel like Jewel was also pretty just like
Sounds about right.
well, these people are getting murdered like in front of the people.
Yeah. We kind of we definitely didn't make any friends. So
That's fine.
For all the charisma in the group, there's not a speck of tact.
I'm very low whiz.
No.
What did you think of Tobias Everson right away? The pastor that was
I didn't like him
I liked him.
almost immediately.
Is it just because he wasn't a worshiper of Celia? Or
It's Paler specific.
Yeah.
No, I had a feeling that he had something to do with it because he showed up after the other guy got killed. No. Seriously, he showed up after the other guy got killed. He was from Perth. Like, then there was adventurers from Perth. They couldn't kill the Wyverns, but we didn't hear about them dying or anything like that. Like, so I was like, he's probably not the most straight edge person. But then after we were talking to him, I'm like, well, maybe not. And I'm also not paid to kill this guy. So
The church isn't my
whatever.
problem.
Yeah, exactly. He was already losing his own flock, so I figured, he's maybe he'll go back to his church. They'll be like, oh, yep, failed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like Stendhal would categorize people by race. Like, if he's from Perth or if he's from, West Bank or if he's from, Bantham or whatever. Like we're all just people, we could all get on a ship together and sail the seas, and it doesn't when you're on the ocean.
Yeah, you had a good experience with the two of us on the ocean.
I think that came later. That was a burner sauce.
So Singer didn't like him immediately. What about his sidekick?
The girl?
No, the girl actually wasn't with them. She was just there to help
No,
out.
I like
he had
the
like a
girl.
dude. He
Yeah,
had
he
a-
had a
a
kid
companion
or some shit like that.
Well, he was like 18, 19.
That's what I imagine a kid is like.
Liam Hassius.
I don't remember him.
They didn't
To
stand
be
out to
honest,
me.
he was very just on the edge of memory.
Quiet, yeah.
Jewel, again, is low wisdom, so that kind of stuff just kind of blows past her.
Right past
she
her.
doesn't look for the anything more complicated than what it is.
Did one of us do an insight check on the priest? I think one of us did.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
He also rolled stupid high.
Yeah.
I remember rolling and I was like, oh, 19 plus. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was me or Stendhal, but one of us rolled like a 15 or 16. And I was like, that's pretty decent. So if he's not lying, then, and if he is lying, well, I'm gonna have to believe him anyway. So
That actually kind of had me worried.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The insight check?
Yeah.
Oh. And you
So
walked out of it.
for sure. Didn't trust him immediately, but then I was like, oh well, he's not lying. So whatever. He's just failing terribly.
And then we went to the inn.
And then I went to the inn because you guys wanted to go shop around in this
Yeah.
We
dinky
just wanted
little
to see what was
town.
in town.
You went to the auction house, right?
Yeah, we went to the auction house next, and then I thought we went to the smithy before we met up with Singer.
Yeah, you did. You stopped in and met Sadie at the auction house, and she had the big black frizzy hair. But she didn't really have anything for you.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything really it was all like farming tools and like.
And even that,
food.
most of the people were leaving, and they were leaving town, so she didn't have a lot of stock or anything going on.
I did imagine her as Helena Bonham Carter.
I don't know who that is offhand.
Yeah, it's
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
The lady from it. Yeah.
that's not where I would pull for her. I would pull from
I'm imagining
Harry
like,
Potter?
that time frame.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
yeah, Alice in Wonderland. She played the Queen of Hearts in the new Alice in Wonderland.
I really
She's-
like The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Okay, yeah. That's
She's
pretty
Sweeney
close.
Todd.
She's in like
Sweeney
every
Todd, yeah.
movie with Johnny Depp
Mhm.
Yeah,
that Tim Burton
movies
does.
because they used to be married.
Anyway,
Anyways, so we went there.
and then what?
Then you went to the Clask Smithy.
Oh yeah, and there was nothing to buy there
Yeah.
either.
Just
You
some likable people.
Kirik and Kayla.
I liked those people, even though I wasn't there.
You never met them.
I never met them. Doesn't matter. I like them.
They're the ones that told us that 3 Perthian guildies came through but disappeared.
Yeah, we got a little info, but we didn't connect all the dots.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got there, kind of.
We weren't paid to connect dots, were we?
No, we were paid to kill wyverns.
Exactly. That was the important part.
So that was episode 1.
Yeah, and then episode 1 was still Singer with his turkey friend.
Turkey friend.
A tale of
Turkey
two
friend.
swallows.
I don't seem to remember this friend, Turkey.
He was turkey shaped.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like a turkey folk.
Nope. Don't remember.
Gobble gobble.
Don't remember.
Where turkey?
I'm gonna make a stat block for that.
A were turkey.
Yeah.
On a full moon on Thanksgiving night.
They have the shape changers.
Shifter
in Eberron.
turkeys?
Yeah, the shifters. So you could have a turkey stat of shifter.
That's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
I might have to write something up.
Yeah. But I remember that after we fucked around in the town a little bit, we wanted to get moving because it was raining and we wanted to get moved before the wyverns.
Yeah, we kind of gathered that the wyverns, when the weather was bad, like
They wouldn't be a threat.
weren't around, so we
As
figured
big
they'd
of
be
a
necessary.
They'd be at roost.
I actually tried to get you to stay with the priest because he said something along the lines of, "Oh, you don't want to try and take the boat across when it's stormy."
Right, I remember that.
And I was hoping you would just hook onto that. Like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but
We
then
did not.
I was like, it's stormy. That means they're not flying around, and I don't want to get attacked by a bunch of flying creatures that we can't hit.
No, it's like hornets. You want to get them while they're resting.
Right. So then we pushed through.
Well, they're all at home.
So we went. Is that after? So then we went to the boat.
Yeah.
Then we went to the boat.
Yeah, you marched south and found the little gutter that
It
went
was
down to
raining
the
and
beach.
pouring
Gully?
and terrible.
Gully, ravine, something.
Crevasse,
Mhm.
I think we did have a literal
mountain
argument
crotch.
over what the right word was.
Yes, we did.
Fair. So yeah, and then the boat section was fantastic.
Yeah, the amazing
Oh my
skill checks.
God.
I was sweating
I
bullets.
thought I was going to die.
We fucked up so many rolls.
I know. I'm like, oh, this is the end of me.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, one, just because 5e doesn't have enough skills. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? But also, like, where do I stop giving you chances?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, Singer's down, and Jewel and Steno both failed to save you.
Yep.
So is this my last one? Yeah, I guess I'll give him this last one.
Yeah. No, I thought at that point, like, well, I guess I better prep a second character because drowns on the, like, we hadn't
His
even
first
hardly
mission.
pushed off. Like, we were still, yeah. That
Like
was
7 feet from shore.
7 feet from shore.
and
That's
you're
where he drowns.
drowning.
That would have been hard to explain our like side missions we did for our testing
Yeah.
because this is canonically our first mission, and then somewhere between then and the next mission is when we did the stuff in
Right there.
Romadia. So
Oh.
Would've
or
been
on the edge of
On
Romadia.
the edge of Romania. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been very like I'm imagining like you're drowning, you're flailing in the water, and then like the wave recedes and you're on a beach. You're like, oh, you just stand back up.
Yeah, that's actually what happened. He's like,
You feel the sand underneath you, and in order to get air, you have to like stand on your tippy toes with your face straight up so you can breathe.
yeah, it was rough. Yeah,
I was puking everywhere.
but we made it,
Yeah,
which was cool.
barely.
With some creative skill use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
mostly
I like that. I
psychological
like that.
against
I
ourselves.
like- yeah, exactly. All right, we can do it. We can do it, guys.
I'm gonna convince us all that we're doing well.
Yeah.
Keep
And
working.
it's a deception because I think we're gonna die.
Make
And your
Deception.
deception worked so well that Singer actually
I
believed
believed you.
it.
Yeah.
And then he persuaded us.
No, she's right. We're gonna do it.
I thought that was real creative. I really
Worked out
enjoyed
I,
that.
I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then we got on the dock.
And after saying, "Oh, there's a line. Let's not stand in a line."
Right, I remember that. Yeah. And then what do? We stand in a line.
That's all we could do.
And
Oh,
didn't
no.
we fail perception
like
checks?
Yes.
a million of them.
Mhm.
Like all of the perception checks.
Yeah.
Roll for perception.
Yeah,
3.
my
Well,
perception is 0 only because I have the jack of all trades. I think I've said this before. Wisdom was my dump stat, so it's 8, which is -1.
Yeah.
So I only have 0 because of jack of all trades and anything.
And I have a fairly decent wisdom because
Mm.
I'm a cleric.
Mm.
But nope.
Yeah, that's what it goes to show that you could have a -1 and roll really well, or a pretty decent
I
spell.
don't remember what.
Yeah.
I don't have my character sheet
It's
in
fine.
front of me right now, but it's like a +2 or +3, something like that. So, yeah. It's a decent, not the best.
I believe Jewel and Steno took some damage from that first breath weapon line attack.
Maybe.
And then you all burst through the door and decided to ransack and take cover.
That was less damage than I was expecting, but a much more interesting encounter than I was expecting. That whole fight.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the less damage than you were expecting was just because of your bear totem rage. Like that saved you so much damage.
Yeah, because I mean, despite the bear totem rage, like Stendhal still went down. I think a couple times.
Yeah, and it was twice later, only because you weren't in rage.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, might have run out. It's those rage rules. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the wyverns were awesome. I enjoyed using the stairs as cover. I think we threw a net over the first one and just like.
I'm interested to see what would have happened if we could have got control of the bands that the guy was wearing.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do that too, but the guy got away too fast. So
did he?
I mean, sort of got away too fast.
Oh my gosh, what a spectacular moment.
That was cool.
Oh, okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So
we are.
So
we fought our way up the stairwell.
You're forgetting the ballista shot.
No, I remember the ballista. That was pretty cool.
That Jewel skewered a wyvern through the eyes with.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant. They were crawling on the ceiling as well.
They were, yeah.
If I remember.
Creepy train spotting wyverns.
And you had, yeah. And like you'd swivel the ballista around. And yeah, that was a hell of a shot.
We only found one bolt when we were looking through stuff, right?
Yeah, well, there's one bolt on the first floor.
Right.
And then there was one already loaded on the second floor.
I remember I kind of wanted to do it, but then the thing was crawling on the ceiling, and I'm like, I don't know if I can aim at that, so I'll just fucking blast it.
So the reason I put the extra bolt is because I was kind of hoping somebody would think of to use the ballista on the door that was barricaded.
Oh,
how do we get through that door? I don't remember.
Dental failed a couple athletics checks, and then Jewel had a crowbar.
Right, pulled the crowbar out. We're like, oh yeah, the crowbar.
I think Stendhal was like face down after slipping on the stone stairs and was just like, just give me the just hand up, face down, just give me the crowbar. We cracked our way in that way.
Yeah, but by that point in time, he'd already made like putting the shit in the fire and all that fun stuff. And
I feel like
we gave him way too much time.
I feel like that's a theme. Like whenever we crack into a place to kill some monsters, there's always a guy we weren't expecting, and they're always burning documentation.
By that point in time, I was expecting him because all the wyverns had those rings around their necks, so I figured something was controlling them. And since they're in the tower, I figured something was going to be in the tower. And we found like fresh food in one of the crates on the way up. So I'm like, okay, somebody here needs the fresh food because wyverns wouldn't need it. They just go out hunting, and
they need a fresh spear.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly. Yes, they needed a fresh spear as well. That's right.
Boom.
So yeah, I expected the guy. Then I didn't expect us to, what was it, shatter or thunderwave all of his notes just to pieces.
It happens. Well, a lot of them were burnt anyway. I did it more for like a cinematic.
Yeah, no.
Ashes and cinders.
I personally remember going, oh no. Oh.
Well, I worry more that the shatter broke the glass that then gave him his escape.
We also
like above in the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Oh, I figured it would be sold. It probably wouldn't have been there anyway.
We weren't hired to collect evidence.
I mean, that's a valid point. We weren't, but it would have been fun anyways to read through that shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you do like to read.
Yeah.
Well, just from like a metagaming stance, like what the fuck's going on?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, so that fight, that's the fight Steno went down twice.
That dude's sword was mean.
Oh man, that started worrying me.
Big chunks.
So he was just a fighter, and he had a +1 scimitar you guys completely forgot.
Well, he jumped out the window with it.
He jumped out the window.
No, it got knocked out of his hand.
Yeah, and it slid down the stairs, and nobody picked it up.
I figured that we slept in that room, so we would have picked it up, but we just didn't say that we picked it up because we were going through everything.
I mean, we did say we went through like everything. Yeah. We mentioned that.
Because that was the next episode after we killed him. And then the next episode, we took a break. And then
I made a note to say it slid down the stairs and nobody said anything.
Yeah, but that was during the fight while we're fighting him. And then
I'm not
we had other stuff happening. And then we took a break. And then the next episode is when we took our rest. So it was kind of.
And I asked exactly what you went through, and I
but you
described
didn't
everything you
say
went through.
there's also a sword on the floor because that's not something that we would have kept fresh in our memories, but the players would have seen it. So that's really like
that still feels
not
like
dumping that on the DM, but that's not something that was fresh in our minds, but it would have been there for us to see as actual characters in the
I
in
pick
the
it
room.
up, threw it in the sea.
Yeah. Well,
It's definitely a terrible thing. I don't like it.
to me it feels like retconning it, even though Steno really wants it.
Why would Steno want it?
because why would Steno
Why
need
would
a sword?
Steno need a sword?
We're all staring
We're getting
at
ahead of
Justin,
ourselves.
mockingly
We're
angry.
getting-
Hey, but you know
Ahead of
that
ourselves.
spear throw to hit him when he's in the middle of the ocean like that, like
in the
Upstairs.
dark rain.
the
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed jump into the sea to grab a wyvern. He thinks he's making an escape, and then
It was such a moment when, because I knew Steno had gone down a couple times, and so he's dragging himself up the stairs.
covered in blood.
Covered in blood, just bitterly wounded, rain just coming in through broken windows, glass all over. He's walking through, and like he's barely standing, I'm imagining. And then the guy's flying away, and I'm like, oh, I got javelins. Hang on, let me do a Hail Mary, and like lo and behold, the roll was great.
yeah, you got a dirty 20.
Because it was he
Dirty 20.
was it wasn't at disadvantage, but it was plus to his AC because
Yeah.
of the difficulty.
Almost like partial cover, right? Just because rain and distance and all that fun
Yeah, it
shit.
just kind of factored it in.
Yeah. And it
Wind.
hit. And then I rolled a 1 on damage. I'm like, oh, well, that's just 3. Oh, well, and you're like, he's dead. Yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. That was, I feel like, the end of our.
Because we immediately lit the beacon thinking that
I remember there was
It
an
would give them
argument.
hope.
There was an argument about the beacon, right? Like someone wanted to light it, and I don't remember who that was. Who was that? Does anyone remember?
someone
You
who
remember
made
who
a
that
lot
was?
of bad decisions in the next couple
Oh yeah,
episodes.
that's right. And then
And then somebody was like, "Oh, well, I just happen to have the right amount of candles to light this beacon."
yeah, that's what I said. And then we argued back and forth. Actually, I used light on the.
I had the candles.
Joe had the candles, and then
Yeah,
you
and
cast light.
And I was like, no, we don't want to fucking do that. And then we had that argument, and then eventually we're like, okay, fine. That's when the beacon of hope, whatever. All these
Yeah.
poor people.
Well, we,
A
like
beacon of hope.
to show that we turned,
We reclaimed the
Yeah.
flag.
we won.
Yeah.
Let
Captured
them know
the
we
tower.
won.
Yeah.
And then
I was, yeah. Actually, it was really triumphant lighting that beacon and having it shine throughout the entire wherever it was that we were at.
our triumph
Abbey.
was good for about
An hour, I
an
think.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we started going through notes and going and discovering the one.
Shit.
I can't recall exactly what it said, but it was something like, light the beacon when it's time. We'll know you're ready and we'll come.
Yeah. And then I had diminishing hope that if we just put it out real quick, maybe they didn't see it.
Yeah. While it was lit for an hour while we took a
it
short
was
rest.
it was lit for an hour. Maybe no one saw that and we're fine.
Now, instead of heading straight back to the town,
Mhm.
we rested for 8 hours.
It's true.
And then instead of heading straight back to the town,
Yeah.
we went and wandered the coast looking for that last wyvern.
Because we were paid to kill wyverns.
And eventually we turned around and headed back to the town.
You did find clues, though.
yeah,
We
that
also
was
found a
actually pretty
drift
helpful.
globe.
Just
So-
clues that
Oh,
people.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we went through the crates in the lighthouse. We took some time to do that after our rest and found some
It's true.
stuff.
Get that drift globe.
Bits.
Yeah. which
Jewel
our
has it
human
because she
needs.
has no
Yeah.
dark vision. Jewel has all the stuff because
Well, you're just a human, so here's all the things. Yeah, that
we
makes sense.
feel bad for you. You only live like 60 years and you can't see in the dark. And
Heading south, you did find what, 2 or 3 houses that kind of had the same
Yeah,
kind
it was
of.
like 3 of them all in the burned
the
out.
goo.
Yeah, but it was the same kind of it was just showing us that the wyverns had been getting into houses and killing people.
Which
But-
isn't really a wyvern thing.
And
They
we-
don't break into people's houses.
Yeah, but we'd already seen that they were being controlled. So the guy wanted to kill those people.
Yeah, pretty much just
But
reinforced that.
that's just more time we were away from the town. And then we got back to the town.
What'd I say? There was no smoke coming from the chimneys.
Yeah.
That was when it was like, okay, we done fucked up.
There were no lights and
Yeah, and then where'd you stop first?
We went left, so we went up. We stopped in. There was a house, and then there was the blacksmith,
and where everybody was dead, and they had put up a fight.
There were teeth on the floor.
That
was.
There were teeth on the floor. Yeah, and blood on his hammer. So it looked like he'd hit somebody in the face.
Yeah,
that
good show.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For who?
And we didn't really stop to make sure if we could like revivify which is like a minute. Obviously, they've been dead longer than a minute, but.
Right, but to come back and realize that everyone had gotten murdered in the night or some shit like that. So
while we waited.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And then we went to the church where we did find survivors who had no idea what was going on.
That surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everyone was going to be dead no matter where we looked.
Yep, same.
No, but they were also like, what? Like the town is what? Well, that's even worse.
You checked the black sheep and you found the turkey was dead in his bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he had a whole case of dildos. So to clarify,
that wasn't a hidden crate in the back.
That was a hidden crate in the back. And I was thinking of like old school, like 14th century dildos, which just look like a stick with a rounded nub on the end. That's what I was thinking in my mind. I wasn't thinking like the actually like the shape or what it looked like. That's why I played my character having no fucking idea what the hell it was. I thought it was like in my head, I'm going to run across this thing who I have no idea what it is. And I'm a religious character and it's hiding in a crate in the back. And people put important stuff in crates, right?
They put dirty stuff in crates.
Well, now, but I didn't know that then. And so I was like, this is obviously like a sacred relic or some shit. I'm going to grab it.
With two hands.
Literally, yeah. Literally, that's what, and I don't have any idea what you guys are thinking, but I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are thinking. I'm just walking around with like a penis in my hand.
We were assuming, it had veins. Like,
yeah, because there's like the levels of stone shape and magic that we have. You could make a realistic dick.
Which, you can, but that's not what I was thinking. And the GM didn't explain it like it looked like a penis with like
didn't want to go into this much detail.
So
I was leaving a lot of it to imagination intentionally.
Right. So my imagination went one way.
I need measurements.
Okay.
Like dimensions.
Next time I'll give you a 3D rendering of it.
You got a 3D printer,
just
right?
so we know.
Here's a barrel of dicks that it has in his back office.
So we so you took that with.
Yeah, I still have it.
No, you threw it at Sadie.
Yeah.
She left it there.
Remember? Oh, you picked it up again?
Oh, I did not remember that. Okay.
No, I picked it up. It's on my inventory sheet.
That all makes sense. She took the gold I gave her.
Yeah, she took the money, left the dildo. I picked it back up.
Well, we found out that she was also involved with the people at the lighthouse.
Potentially.
She had the same exact note.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she did have the same note.
She had the note that said, like, keep it slow or something.
Yeah, keep things slow and locked down and you'll be rewarded.
Yeah, that.
Well, yes, there was a moment where Stenel, because I thought this was like a character moment, where Stenel was in a house where everyone was dead and found some like gold, some life savings. Mm-hmm. And was like, oh, I'm going to jack this gold. And everyone's like, ooh, Stenel stealing from the dead. And then, we find the lady alive and I'm like, here, take this money. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is a bit of a redemption moment, like where Stenel can be like, no, he's not like just pilfer. He actually feels for these people. And then you slapped a dildo on it.
I wanted to give her a keepsake that I found in the town. Obviously, it's important.
What was the catchphrase from that?
You slapped your dildo all over my moment.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That
was great. We're gonna have to use that later.
The clip.
That's because it actually happened.
Yeah.
With Sadie, that note was actually on her desk the first time you went in the auction house. It's just nobody noticed.
Was that a low perception roll or just we weren't
didn't
looking
make perception checks?
Yeah, you didn't make a check.
Oh shit.
But I had it out to give you kind of a something if you peeked around, and you also didn't get to meet her husband.
Was he from
Perth? Has a husband?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Was he from Perth?
No. You might run into them eventually.
No. So, because I would like to kill them.
Take that savings back.
I would like to commit a murder.
For 400, Alex.
Nice. What is murder?
Yeah.
What is a double homicide?
Sure. So we figured that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw the cave exit or entrance. I think we saw the cave when we were on our way up.
Over the cliff.
Yeah.
Over the cliff.
When you were initially coming up, I forgot to describe how it was kind of on the cliff. And then when it came to later, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Let's just go look on the beach.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, I honestly thought there was going to be like a hidden entrance to the caves in one of the houses.
Yeah, especially like the bar or the auction house where it's like people coming in from the coast can just sail in underneath and then
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Smuggle stuff up.
Like a smuggler's.
That's what we were looking for in the auction house when we found the bolt hole, the safe room.
With Sadie, yeah.
But that particular fight, like I thought we were all gonna die.
Once we made it to the caves.
Oh, the epic boss battle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you went down and
That was a running combat.
Even after that channel divinity where you just knocked 3 guys out
that was fun.
like nothing. And then we went further in and I'm like, man, there's like different chambers and then there were wyverns and then there was like a lady with a sword.
I think I killed that wyvern because it kept hitting me. like I hellish rebuked it and then I thunder rebuked it and thunder rebuked it. Like
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I think I killed it because he kept hitting me.
This is hurting you more than it's hurting me.
You should stop that.
It's kind of like if you're biting something that's stinging you back, maybe bite something else.
Right. Yeah. That's right. You should have done that.
General evolution.
I like making really dynamic combat stages. So I was really hoping that those first 3 guys, even though they had really low HP, they were going to be able to launch some bolts, sound the alarm. And then I was going to have the Bardlock get up on some steps behind one of the wooden barriers that was kind of in the middle of like a rock pillar and then the cave wall and start Eldritch blasting you and then ducking down for cover. But you guys went through the area really fast.
We sure did.
I felt like a fucking commando doing that. I thought it was badass. We're all moving up and like hugging the walls and stuff like that. And then I leaped over that one barrier on the other side. I thought that was pretty neat.
That is a very true. I agree with that in terms of the way that the cavern was laid out and the way you revealed it to us and the way we were moving through it. Yeah, definitely like some Call of Duty vibes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So what do you think of the Perthian lingo? Din, Dolly, do you get it?
It's a little misogynistic.
I mean,
ask me.
Isn't it andronistic?
No, it was against
it's
women.
misandry is when you is the male version of misogyny.
How did I not know that? Oh, no, I thought it was boss actually.
That was straight ripped off from a very popular Nintendo title.
IP.
Which we're not going to mention because we don't want to get blocked.
You're right. Yeah, we don't want to get blocked.
You don't mess with Nintendo.
No.
You shouldn't even be saying their name. If you say it one more time, they're going to show up with their lawyers.
I like it. I like Nintendo. They're a good company and they make awesome games. So.
But they will shut you down.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And she was literally to Jewel be like, why do you let them speak for you?
I thought she was a badass villain. I thought it was pretty cool, that fight there.
Well, and Jewel has friends in Perth, like her bard friend that makes all of her boots for her is based out of Perth. So she's been there. I think it's one of the cities that I have written down. Like, this is one of the cities I know about.
Yeah, you'd be a princess there.
Yeah. So like, I feel kind of like how the patriarchy is bad. Maybe the matriarchy is also bad. Like, I don't really buy into dismissing males just because they're males. So, and I mean, obviously I wasn't born in Perth, but I don't really feel one way or the other about that. So being like, oh, just, get rid of your guy friends because they're dudes. And it's like, no, these people have actually helped me and it's super beneficial to have them. And we're going to kill you. So you're not very helpful to me.
Yeah. Come work for me, Dolly.
Dolly. That's what it was.
But she doesn't know I'm a din.
Oh. Closet din.
Well, I mean, I kicked her ass.
Undercovered. Oh, nice.
Holding that choke point was something I really wanted to do, and you guys managed to just scuttle around. And
like, nope.
You guys were putting out so much damage so fast, it kind of messed up my plans for the area.
Damn.
I mean, we didn't you fall twice in this battle? So
In the cave battle?
Was it the cave battle that you fell in?
Well, to be fair, and this actually ties into something I did want to mention very briefly, because we talked about as a DM running combat and doing like in character, like interesting ways to kind of showcase what the danger is going to be, you know, like holding up the staff and like fire runes pop up and you're like, oh, something fire is going to happen. You had the pirate, the swashbuckler. She like darted into cover, but like you could kind of see the tip of the sword up, like ready to go. So when Stenel ran around the corner and she just reaction pop, like hit him, I was like, he set me up for that.
Mhm.
I saw it and I ran into it.
Ran into it anyways.
It said
piece of
danger.
candy.
That's Stenel. Jazz hands. Stenel.
Had the electrical signal and I just stuck the fork in the outlet. Anyways.
That's shiny. I'll run towards it.
But I thought that ran really cool. Like, but I also felt like we barely held that combat together.
Yeah.
It was close.
It was close. It was close. I was running.
It was
I think
close.
I had like 2 or 3 hit points at the end of that combat.
It was close, and Jeremy's like, "You guys totally wrecked my battle," but we also almost died.
It was
That was a
close
good
for
battle.
us too. Yeah, exactly. I think you went down, Stenel, and we picked you up.
He went down to 1 hit point.
Oh
when
yeah,
he
that's
broke.
right. That's right.
He went down twice in the tower.
Right,
it was
right.
twice
So
in
this
the tower.
combat he didn't go down, and this one I almost went down.
That does sound
and
right.
I just
You didn't even. I don't think you got touched. I
I'm
touched you.
I'm good at not getting in direct melee with people most of the time.
Good.
Yeah.
That's,
good
that's
call.
my job, is to support you guys.
I think, didn't you take a little damage from one of the breath weapons?
Maybe.
I think that was it. If
I
you
don't
took
think
anything.
I don't-
Yeah, you didn't. You got
I don't think
hardly
it got
touched.
close. Well, my HP's gone up, but I
No,
think
no,
it went
no,
from like
you-
21 to 14 at
Yeah,
some
when
point.
you went around that corner the first time, it breath
Yeah.
weaponed you.
Yeah.
And then they focused on me, and I blew them away with their own damage. It was and then we killed them. Then the bard lock gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used the loot to dispel the magic, keeping the brood mother alive. And then he waited for death.
And when we happily gave it to him,
We accidentally gave it to him. We were gonna take him in. And
Harmless.
you convinced Stenel not to kill the guy,
right?
Jewel just happened to have manacles.
despite all my rage.
Too bad he didn't have a hand anymore.
Well, and that's, he's a bard, so hands, obviously, like that's his whole thing. So,
We were kind of pissed about the village upstairs, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that does make sense.
there was a lot going on, I think, emotionally in that bit.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
Stenel,
It
when
played
Stenel
out.
didn't have anywhere to channel that, like, I'm like, all right, well, he's going to cut the dude's hand off.
Mhm.
And you're like, okay, that's violent, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to smash his stupid instrument.
And I said he goes down unconscious. And then you smash the stupid instrument.
And then I smashed the stupid instrument. Yeah. Well, because I couldn't smash him. So then you made a face. And then the two of you started like discussing what on earth was going to happen.
Yeah, there was just a real quick conversation. So me and Jeremy discussed ahead of time the magic items that were popping up because the loot was pretty powerful. It was well above.
I had rolled randomly for the loot and it popped up with the lyre or something. It's one of the bardic instruments. And I was like, oh, this is really good. I should probably talk to Sean before we give the party this. So I pulled him aside before the session.
Yeah, so we were talking about it. So I knew it was a magic item at the time, and then he was going to hit it.
And he looked at me and said, "Do you even want this?" I was like, "No, I have my ukulele.
Right.
I don't need it."
There is, that is my only saving grace,
Yeah,
is that I did make eye contact
Yeah,
real quick.
and you asked me.
I was like, you sure? And you're like, meh. And
That's
I was
fine.
like, "Wah."
Yeah, and then we were having a quick discussion, like, should we break this magic item or not? And I'm all for it. I think that's fantastic.
You're an agent of chaos, so I don't trust you.
love
anyways.
it.
Nobody should trust you.
Oh, but it was fantastic, and the look on DM's face at that time, the internal struggle, right? On should I let it break or not? And then what happened? You rolled behind the.
Odds are evens. One is it breaks, one is it doesn't. And I was like, okay, that's fair. And I rolled behind as you were saying it, and I got the one that was fail. And then you finished, and I was like, I'll give him one more chance. And it was explode again. I was like, I guess this.
Yeah,
I guess it's fate. And you literally rolled the damage, and it was exactly enough to take Stendhal down to 1 hit point.
Yeah.
And so he's just and
through your rage.
Through the rage.
Yeah.
And the moonlight greatsword or longsword that Stendhal had up to this point was lodged in the ceiling, broken, and just I'm imagining just cartoon like just explosion, just hair blown back, just soot.
And we turned one of your eyebrows.
Yeah.
I asked you about that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I think
I was just far enough away not to take any of that. That was worrisome.
And,
I only had like 2 hit points.
I had HP, but
and then absolutely
healing spells, but
I think it did like 36 damage.
Yeah, it would have killed me.
Yeah.
I would have gone from okay to dead.
Yeah.
like permadead.
Yeah, permadead. Yeah.
Oh,
If you've taken more
put it in the bag
damage
of holding.
equal to your hit points in blow, then you don't get that saving throw.
that's much closer than I thought it was then.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, if
almost
you
died.
weren't raging, you just probably would have died.
Permadeath.
Yeah.
Would I roll a new character? Okay, so remember
well,
when
we have pretty low HP, so
well, yeah, but I mean, like, when we talked about the wyverns biting someone who's stinging them, I think Stendhal's learned something about attacking random instruments.
He will never touch an instrument again.
Stung the shit out of me.
Jewel brings out her ukulele. And he's like, ah, you got me.
Be careful with that thing.
Yeah.
Those are dangerous. Man. It's just like a plain loot.
Those are like hand grenades. Just walking around with a hand grenade.
That thing could kill you.
You get like a 5-foot piece of fishing line and tie a harp to his boot when he's asleep.
Chases him around.
I just keep waking up and my loot is missing because he's like trying to get rid of it. He puts it like on the edge of the woods.
You guys seen my loot?
Just
He's
like
like, no.
shoves it out there with a broom because he doesn't want to get close.
I've looped like a rope around it, like 25 feet of rope, and I'm just slowly dragging it, holding my breath.
Get back, citizen.
Dangerous weapon transport.
Or no, I'm drinking at a bar. A live band shows up.
Musical PTSD.
Let me out.
Can't go to concerts anymore.
Oh God.
Oh,
So
man. Anyway.
then we left.
No,
Yeah.
there was a slave that you guys had in manacles, and he was begging for his life.
And Jewel is definitely not of the just kill random people, but also there's some shady shit going on here.
He was a din.
I'm pretty sure he was dead either way we looked at it. So
We gave him a weapon
Yeah.
and some supplies and
Yeah.
sent him off and said, don't go to West Bank.
That's
Well,
very true.
But he was heading north.
yeah, we sent him to West. Not
Did we?
Perth. Yeah.
When you let him out, he grabbed a bag and filled it full of some stuff, and then grabbed a short bow
Mm.
and some arrows.
Yeah.
And then you saw him on the road when you're heading home.
Yeah, and he was like
Yeah.
nervous.
Very.
So all in all,
It's us.
it's an entire murdered town.
Yeah.
And the bad guys just lost some wyverns.
Well, they also lost some bad guys.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And they lost the wyvern they had been doing magic on.
Yeah, the brood mother.
We should have burnt
The
that whole thing
only
down.
one that exists ever.
Yep,
Maybe.
The only
No,
one.
no, for sure.
Of course.
We killed it. It's gone now.
Well, in between sessions, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens because we're just going mission to mission. So there has to be a lot of like what we report to the guild happens out of game kind of.
Oh, of course.
So like that definitely is something that maybe you guys should look into this at a higher level of
Yeah.
adventure.
That's a little bit above our badge
Yeah.
medal.
coordinate
So-
with Perth.
So, Sean, do you think I should go over the whole reason this thing was happening that I told you about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of background. That'd be
Jewel would have heard this through rumors. Perth has now taken over Machair Abbey. The whole reason that I imagine this whole scenario would be happening is because even though Machair Abbey's in Perthian territory technically,
Yeah.
Perth is like a desert trade city and they don't have any really good farmland. So Machair Abbey is close enough and it's not really under any major city's protection that it makes sense instead of trading with the small little town that they should just take it over. But they didn't want to seem aggressive to the other nations. So to have these wyverns come in and terrorize the townfolk till enough of them leave that they could have their own people come in and take it over. Maybe the ships coming in were builders and farmers and maybe some soldiers to come in and take the territory. So Perth has come in and taken over this farmland so they have more resources.
So basically, Machair Abbey is what, Ukraine?
Wouldn't it have been
Crimea.
less
Crimea.
underhanded if they would have just forcefully taken it instead of doing what they did? Because that was a little more
Yeah, but the thing
brutal.
is, we don't know that's what they did. It's just all of a sudden there's nobody there, and
But
so
we
then
know that
Perth
it was
came and took it over.
directly related to Perthians coming into town, and then this happened.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it was official Perth business. It
No,
could have
the
been.
Perths that came into town were from the guild. Like they sent a guild people to go and investigate, and then
but
they left.
The guy, Pastor Tobias Everson,
Mhm.
he was from Perth,
Yeah, to
And-
watch over the flock.
and the people that were running underneath in the swamp. No, sorry,
Cave.
in the cave,
Yeah.
Swashbuckler's Bay or whatever was Smuggler's Cove. Sorry, the people that were running the Smuggler's Cove were obviously Perthian.
Right.
I mean, that just because you're from Perth doesn't mean you're on Perth business,
Exactly.
but
Right.
it's very it's very convenient that a bunch of Perthians came in and fucked things up, and then all of a sudden Perth's like, well, we're just gonna take the city.
Well, you could always put underneath the guides of helping to rebuild.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you guys suffered this terrible tragedy from these terrible people that came out
Yeah.
of nowhere and wrecked your town and stuff. Like, we're gonna help you rebuild, and well, you want to succeed to our territory now, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
It was already Perthian territory, so now that everyone is dead in the town except Old Man Don.
Oh, I thought he survived.
Up there making jerky.
And a few others, but
All in all, I thought it was a pretty awesome campaign. There was a lot of meat on the bones there.
I was gonna say we also got several seals. We got 2 different seals that we like
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
letter seals.
Yeah.
One that looked like a broken window, a geometric window, and one that was like 2 barbed crossed whips. So
Ooh,
between the
future plot.
So between the 2 of those, we might be able to suss out who was commanding this stuff.
Then we can kill those people.
History check.
Yeah, the 3 queens of Perth.
No,
You gonna kill them?
No, not them. Just the guy who murdered everyone in the town.
Mm.
Yeah, we find Toothless and
Yeah,
we
because
take him out.
that's pretty fucked up.
Nice.
The-
Yeah.
It is.
killing
That's
the
fucked up.
citizens of town.
Yeah, they deserve some
Find someone
justice.
with wooden teeth.
so
Anyway,
yeah,
Yeah,
all in all, you had fun.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Excellent.
Yeah. I rode a roller coaster of emotions on that one. That
yeah,
was
I was definitely like, "Are you fucking kidding me that we just lost 2 magic items?"
You were so mad
Oh
for like
man,
an hour.
you were angry.
Look,
Justifiably.
that's just how Vanessa is. You
Justifiably.
break her things and she gets mad at you.
That makes sense.
I know. And I wasn't mad at Stemmel for breaking it. I was mad at Jeremy and Sean for agreeing to break Vanessa's things.
The only
Vanessa and
two.
Stennel's things.
Technically, it wasn't in our possession at the current time. I mean, it was.
It
so.
was.
Hopefully, Stennel has learned something from this. And hopefully in the future we can acquire things without destroying them. So we'll see.
Mm.
But at least we're not playing OP.
Yeah, but and I mean, it was in character. Like
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
were obviously in a rage. Like that's how it should have been. Just
Well,
I
thank
want
you
that
for.
look.
That's very generous of you.
No, but I mean, it's not fun if you're not making shitty decisions.
Well, that should be a T-shirt.
That's like life.
That should be a
It's not
T-shirt.
fun if you're not making shitty decisions.
At
At
That
least
is
a
great.
Facebook update.
I would buy that
A Minions quote.
and wear it.
Let's get a merch shop. So that
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh,
Sounds good. That's a good
yes.
idea.
all
Put
right.
all kinds of quotes on there.
So I'm glad you guys had fun.
After dildo all over my mouth. It would
All over my
also be
moment.
another great quote.
That has been Total Party Gossip with the Wyverns in the Wake. Thank you guys for telling me what you thought. It's been a blast.
Thanks for
And
The riot.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Party on.
Party on.